Hello, my name is Chief Instructor Marilyn Farnham from Kootenai Christian Martial Arts in Nelson, BC, Canada. Today I would like to talk about how to compile the U.S. Cheung Do Kwon Association's Black Belt portfolio. It can be a little bit labor intensive, so it's something you need to work on a regular basis so that it's not too much at the end of your training when you're looking at testing. First thing, first page, the front page, we want to make sure your name is legible and your rank is also legible as well. You can be creative here, just make sure that we can read it. It's kind of interesting sometimes to be creative there. All right, on the front cover, front inside cover, the only thing that should be here is your U.S. Cheung Do Kwon Association Black Belt membership. Now you've noticed I put a strip of tape on here that's looped over. That's so that when I put it in here, and I want to put it so that my expiry date is up, and it goes right in there like that. The tape holds it in place so that it doesn't fall out. Always secure these in here because they do fall out and they get lost, and you do not want to have to explain that you've lost your portfolio or your membership card from your portfolio when you're testing, because that's not a good thing. Anyway, first page, page number 1, down here at the bottom. If you're not sure what page order they go in, just look at the bottom of the sheet. It'll say where it goes. The page numbers without something before them. So for instance, in your training, you have training page 1. They go in each section. So just if it's plain page 1, it goes before the tabs. First page is just an student information page. Make sure you put your picture in there so that if whoever's grading your portfolio at the exam will know who you are, because sometimes you'll be marked by people that do not know who you are, which I was in this case. And of course, this is my portfolio. I didn't mention that. Next page is, again, just a little bit more ideas on your goals and your credits, and thanks to special people that have helped you get to where you are. Another page you might want to read, and another on the history of Taekwondo, same as in your student portfolio. This page here, summary page for black belt testing, is the same, or pretty much the same, as the black belt summary page in your student portfolio. All the information from that is to be transferred onto here. So for any tournaments, demonstrations, seminars that you did as a beginner, intermediate, or advanced students, your totals, your total months of active training, any instructor's comments. So always have that transferred over into your, and I think for every belt level, whether you're going for your 4th dan or whatever, that's got to be in here if you came up the ranks through with us. So, all right, that's that page. On to page 6. This is a black belt summary page. So for your 1st dan, 2nd dan, just go through its training hours, instructing hours, U.S. Cheung Do Kwon tournaments, seminars, conferences, demonstrations, any awards you were given, appointed positions, number of students you promoted, number of black belts promoted. Usually won't do that unless you are a master, but if you do promote black belts, definitely put that in there. Number of certified instructors that you have certified, contributions to U.S. Cheung Do Kwon Association, and total months of active training at each level. So this is all for each level. And this goes all the way up. So in the preceding pages. All right. Any questions on these? Definitely ask. I'm willing to answer anything. So put photos in here. This is really important because this portfolio is going to explain who you are in photos and other documents and stuff. Okay. So now we get into the tabs. This tab is the credentials tab, and it's going to be all of your promotions and stuff like that. First page, credentials page 1, records of promotions. Your name goes here, your current rank, date of review board, that's the date you got your current rank, your instructor, rank you're testing for, date of examination, and the school that you go to. So it's Kootenai Christian Martial Arts School. And of course, this is very similar to page 2 of your student portfolio. insert. And so we've got your goal date, testing date. These are certificate numbers that you can get. Usually we get the U.S. Chung To Kwan Association certificate number, but you can purchase the World Chung To Kwan Association certificate or the Kuki Kwan certificate as well. Instructor's degree, promotion, and the year. All right? So it should be pretty self-explanatory on that one. Taekwondo lineage. This will be filled out for you. The 5th generation would be your senior instructor who brought you up through, and then you would be next. And any that you promote under you would be after that. All right? Instructor's degree promotions. So this is when you got your whichever instructor's degree you got, whether it was associate or whatever. You write down when you got it, what rank you were, and just a special memory. It's kind of just to keep track. And of course, this goes all the way up as well. Again, more photos. Usually try and keep this to credentials, is what I did here. This is of our black belt dinners and stuff, just to show that, you know, I was there. All right, and any, you know, these are people that I have affected in one way or the other. Next tab is our training tab. Now, with the Kootenai Christian Martial Arts School, Master Simonoff has us write an essay for each dawn level. This is my essay, and I was trying to decide where I needed to put it, and I thought this would be at the training level, at the training section, right up front so that we could find it. All right? And of course I put it in a sleeve so that it's all together. Now, these are your training logs. You will need to fill out one for every month that you train in between your testings. So you start in the month. I started when I got my second dawn, and I went from there. Now we're going to go through this quickly because there's lots of information on this one page, and there's going to be lots of these pages. All right, date is down the left side. Next one is training hours. This is every hour or whatever that you train. You write in whether it was 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of training for each day. All right, usually you're going to do one, but if you do 2 or whatever, then you write that down. Teaching hours, that goes in there as well. Assisting hours goes in there. If you sat on a promotion board or if you were testing, that goes in there, and that's how many hours you were at your at the exam as well. So if you were doing a promotion exam for, let's say, brown belts, you would, and it was 2 hours long, you would put 2 hours in there. Any demonstrations you did, and I believe it's how many hours you do that. Any tournaments, whether you participated or were officiating, whether it was local, state, regional, or national. Any seminars you attended. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be U.S. Chung To Kwan seminars, but any seminars you do attend, and it's the hours. It kind of explains it a little bit down here on each of these, because there's going to be some things that you have to multiply. For instance, your training or teaching time can be multiplied 1.5 to include prep and setup. So for every hour you teach, times it by 1.5, and that. And assisting, same thing, times it by 1.25. All right? Current month, your total training hours for that month, teaching hours, so on down here, and add up the monthly total. Then you will also need to do a year to date, and that will be added up at the end of each year. And of course, write down all this information as well. I'm going to skip right now to the end of 2012, or 2010, sorry. And this was December of 2010 for me. My total training hours, keep in mind this was from October of 2010, was 12 and so on. So this is all added up in this column here. All right. And then let's skip right now to the end of 2011. Here we've added it up again. This is just for this month. This is year to date. And we'll skip right to the end of 2012, same thing, year to date. And write down what you've done. Like, For here, I've included that I was at a Christmas party that day and stuff. So write down what you've done, all right? Same here, this is the end of my year into 2013, which was when I tested for my exam on the 14th of March. Now, all these hours, you have the year-to-date total. Every year has to be added up so you get your total hours of whether it was training, teaching, assisting, promotion test, whatever it was, you got total hours there. And that gets put back into the, let's go back to it actually so you guys can see. Oh, here we are. That goes back to this page here, this page 6, Black Belt Summary page. This is where you get all this information. All right? All right, I'm going to continue now. So that's your training log. So it's very intensive. You will have lots of these to fill out, so keep on top of it, otherwise it becomes very labor intensive. Demonstrations. This is any demonstrations that you participate in, or if you are actually directing it, put it down. Very important. Next one, public speaking. So I have included in this that I did a demo, and I was actually running the demo, and so I put that in there. That was public speaking. It could be anything that you do public speaking. And of course, read up top, it'll tell you. Seminars and personal development. So this is any seminars that you attend. I don't believe it has to be any U.S. Chung Kwan, because I have included other seminars that I have done as well. So any seminar that you actually attend, write that in there. Any tournaments that you were in, whether you were directing or officiating, whether you actually competed, or if you're doing both, definitely put that down, and all that. This is where you keep track of it. Referee certification. This is where you put in all the information regarding your referee certification. All right? And then these are just certificates saying seminars. Here's another seminar one, so that kind of stuff can go there. Pictures of demos that you have been participating in. Newspaper clippings. This is a demo that we did as well. Now this is just from Master Simonoff, just regarding some of the things he wanted to concentrate on teaching, and so we needed to know that. And include some personal stuff as well. This tells who you are. Now we're on to the teaching tab. Testing boards. This is teaching page 1 down here at the bottom. Testing board. So any testing board that you sat on, like whether you are sitting as a chairperson, a co-chairperson, examiner, or coordinator, if you're correcting portfolios, whatever, put it down here. Date, how many students you tested and stuff, so make sure you've got that all in there. And you might have to print off extra pages, because I had lots. So as many as you need, put them in there. It looks good, because this is part of your teaching time. Now here's your teaching career page. This is where you actually teach, school information. All right? It should be pretty self-explanatory. Student Black Belt promotion roster. Usually have the year. And anybody that you have influenced in any way to get their Black Belt, you write it down. Now, I didn't know the date they were certified or if they got their instructor's degree when I filled this out. But if any questions, definitely either ask myself or Master Simonoff or your senior instructor, to help you fill this page out. All right? And I had, of course, put more on the back. You could actually do a second page, which is probably what I should have done there. All right, foundational growth chart for growth, sorry. On this one here, this is just kind of from the top down. So Senior Grandmaster is Edward B. Sell, and I filled this out on the computer too, so it's because otherwise it's really, they don't give you much space to write in. So Edward B. Sell is the Senior Grandmaster, Brenda J. Sell is the Grandmaster. If that changes, you can switch that up or whatever, but whatever it is at the time of your testing. We don't have a professor right now that is influenced with our school, so it goes right down to Master Dean Simonoff. We have no associate masters, but Pat Wong and Dave Laramie are chief instructors. Any head instructors you have, any instructors you have, this is to your level, so you don't need to put anything below you. So you notice that I'm here under head instructor, which is what I was when I filled this portfolio out. So if you were, let's say you're associate instructor, then you would fill up right down to associate instructor. School administrator is Dean Simonoff. Office assistant is Nadine Backus. All right? Any questions again? Just ask, definitely. Tournament results. These are for the school. After every tournament, your senior instructor should know the results of how our school did. You could ask them for it. So in Kootenai Christian Martial Arts case, we could ask Master Simonoff for those results, and that could actually be put in here. Okay? Next one, U.S. Chundaquan Association seminar and conference participation. So any seminars that you've done that is U.S. Chundaquan related gets put here. If you have to print off another page, definitely do it. And if you attend their national training conference, or if there's another conference you attend, definitely put that in there. Class critique. This would be something that your senior instructor would fill in for you, just to help you become better at instructing. We're constantly learning, so it's always helpful to have some bit of a critique and see how we're doing. So have your senior instructor fill that out. For Kootenai Christian Martial Arts, you could definitely have Master Simonoff fill that one out. These are